Hi guys, welcome to episode 3 of We Built a Gym. PB. Hi guys, welcome to episode 3. We wanted to start this week with talking about the amazing introduction that you've just seen, the animated logo coming in and the amazing music that's alongside it. We've been lucky enough to have members of the gym help us with the We Built a Gym podcast, and 2 of them, who are incredibly talented and skilled, helped us not just design that, because they basically came up with the creativity themselves, but put it together, gave us their time without wanting anything in return. So we wanted to say a huge thank you to Liam Harris. Liam took time out legitimately from working with Real Madrid, Ralph Lauren, West Bromwich Albion, all these huge companies to make that animation that you see at the beginning of the episodes. We're very lucky to have him do that for us. And then James Hadjigeorgiou, came to us and said that he'd help us lay some music to it, because Jamie is a music producer, songwriter, works with some awesome people like Icona Pop, and he produced the music alongside it. So we're extremely grateful to them, and we need to figure out a way to thank them and give them something back.
Definitely. It's really good.
We wanted to give them a huge shout out and tell them if you're impressed by their work, because they deserve it.
So this week is going to be about the stupidest thing that we have both done, isn't it? In the journey. Acts of stupidity, yeah. You want to go first?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, the idea came from a question that we got last week on our Instagram, which was, what's the stupidest thing you've ever done when building a gym or a coaching business? And we felt that we couldn't answer it well enough in just a brief period of time. So we wanted to take a whole episode to talk about it.
Opens up a can of worms, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The stupidest thing you've ever done.
The stupidest thing you've ever done. It's also hard to determine that because there's so many. Just this week I've done many stupid things. But the stupidest thing that we ever did when we were opening the gym, so we inherited, we took on a derelict building basically, and anyone that's seen the photos of it from when we took it on would know that. The first time we toured it, there were dead birds on the floor. In fact, every time we toured it there was a new dead bird on the floor, and that was one of the parts of our tenancy agreement. We insisted that the dead birds were taken away. We took on this derelict building, kind of flooding, mould, just crap everywhere.
What was it before?
So it was empty for a year and a half, which actually is really important when finding a building for a gym. You need to change use, it has to be empty. We'll talk about that another time. It was rented by a company who made bouncy seats for ambulances and buses. Like the driver bounces around.
Yeah, and it's
they made them, and apparently they lost a big NHS contract and lost a load of money, so they were out really sharpish, and I believe it was an acrimonious split with kind of money owed to people and stuff.
Fair.
So it was essentially a workplace for industrial kind of commissions and building and engineering and like saws and stuff. So the whole room was covered in those enormous plugs. I can't remember what they're called. They've got a name. Like big, like doof, to turn the electricity on.
Oh yeah.
To power huge machinery, it was in a bad way. Kind of oil all over the floor. It was just in a bad way, and we basically took it upon ourselves to turn it into the gym and the building that people see now, and I don't think people would really believe that it looked how it did. But the stupidest thing we ever did was during that build, as I've probably said before, we tried to do it all ourselves. We tried to, even though we have no experience or talent for DIY or building things, we said we'd do it all ourselves. And we had a guy with us who essentially could do a bit of plumbing, a bit of building, a little bit of electrician work, but he wasn't particularly skilled in any of them. He was just jack of all trades.
Master of none.
Yes, he was a master of none. And basically, if you know the gym at all, there's a set of stairs in the gym, which are kind of in the back corner. I don't know if you can see them in the shop, they're back there. They go up to the mezzanine floor where we have our prowler and our speed sled, AstroTurf, kind of cable-loaded stuff. We have those stairs. There was a second set of stairs, which I don't think anyone ever saw. Basically, that set of stairs was where our weightlifting platforms are. where we take classes where the jerk boxes are and
Yeah,
all
yeah.
that. And we thought it was pointless that there'd be 2 sets of stairs, because why do you need 2 sets of stairs to go up to like that one place?
Yeah, it's just more confusing.
And we could do something better with the floor space that the stairs take up. So there were these huge solid steel stairs, been in there for years, and we thought it'd be a really simple process. We genuinely thought that I would just be able to lift them and move them off. We thought that that these huge stairs were made of aluminium or something, you know, or like tin foil.
That's classic. It's one of those things where you're like, yeah, I'll just knock through the wall. Easy. Get a sledgehammer, done.
Yeah.
No.
I did not have the required strength to do it. So
We tried actually like yanking the stairs off.
Yes. We basically unbolted it from the walls, and I went up there and embarrassed myself completely.
Like the sword out of the stone.
Yeah, I was not King Arthur.
Didn't even budget. Yeah.
And basically Tim was up at the top saying that like, oh, if it, this is how ridiculous it was. Tim was up at the top in case, if it's so easy that I swing them out more than I think I'm capable of, he'll catch them so they don't fall out. So we unbolt it from the walls, or I try and move it. It generally doesn't budge a millimetre. I probably hurt my back again. And we discovered in that moment that the stairs were split in 2. There were 2 halves. We thought they were just one solid thing. So there was the top half and the bottom half. And we had this kind of days of deliberation and what are we going to do? And we came back to it kind of a week later, and we had this plan that we were just going to rip them out however we could, and then take them to a scrapyard. Just, you know, here you go, have all this metal.
Done and done.
And again, it didn't work out how we thought it would. So we unbolted them again because we'd secured them in case they fell on us when actually they almost did fall on us once. So yeah, we unbolted them again, tied a bit of old electrical cables that we'd taken down off of a wall round them, laid some old mouldy wooden panels that we'd ripped off of walls on the floor, thinking that we would protect the concrete floor from the fall of them. And already even saying that, you realise how stupid it is that we were using old mouldy flooring, old mouldy wooden panels as the flooring. We were using kind of splintering wires that had powered a light somewhere as the lasso. And anyway, we tied it up. We thought, right, we just pull, the top half will fall off, it'll land nicely on the wood, and actually we thought that we would then just pull the wood and pull them out of the big doors, and that'd be that. So basically we kind of all kind of got a bit tentative, got a bit nervous, we were about to do it. We had like a moment when we went 1, 2, 3, and none of us did anything.
Yeah.
And just kind of all giggled.
You do it first. You do it first.
Like little school children. And we went for it. So we kind of went, checked the knot. 1, 2, 3, big pull, and they flew off because maybe 3 people were strong enough. They flew off. Half of them landed on the wooden flooring, and half of them just smashed into the concrete underneath. Now that's the concrete that we told the landlord we'd look after.
And that you needed to lay matting over as well, so you should get the floor.
Yes. So, yes, we had damaged greatly this solid concrete flooring that an industrial company using huge tools had managed to keep intact.
Yeah.
Just out of pure stupidity, starting from me thinking that I could lift the stairs on my own, and then realising, realising I'm more Bruce Banner than the Incredible Hulk, and just acting like morons.
I can see why you guys are so methodical about everything now. Like, no, we need to take the measurements and put the equipment in the right thing, and then, you know, do that first and do this first.
Yeah.
Instead of back in the day, it was like, yeah, just yank it out, just yank the tooth out, you know. Oh, it's bleeding.
So that is, you are right. We are very methodical now because of stupid things like that that we did. And so basically we all celebrated that we pulled the stairs off. We were like, yes, we're amazing, we've done it. And then we went and looked and realised the damage that we'd caused. And panicked a little bit, doubled down, and we're like, we've done it now, screw it, and pulled the other half of the stairs down. Again, thought we'd just wheel them outside. Absolutely stupid. They were so heavy.
Yeah, I bet.
You know, I couldn't even estimate, but the 3 of us couldn't even budge them. So we ended up like making these makeshift rollers and rolling them outside, and then leaving them on the ramp outside. And the landlord came round to check how we were doing, and he was like, "Why are the stairs outside?" Obviously, you don't want to throw away stairs, and we were like, "No, we don't want to throw away stairs."
Get out.
Yeah, just leave. And he left, and about half an hour later, the scrapyard guys came and picked him up and threw him in their van, and exited the scene with them. So the stupidest thing we ever did was yanking those stairs out, and fortunately, we have video footage of it. So stay tuned, and you will see the stairs miraculously yanked off of the wall, crash into the floor, and 3 morons celebrate. Right, so that was my stupid story of how we were very poorly planned out.
Yes.
You've got to have one, and I'm hoping it's one I haven't heard before.
Well, mine has got to be, so you obviously damaged the gym, I damaged myself.
Again?
Specifically, yeah, literally for the 1,000th time. Yeah, I mean, I'm clumsy. By the way, if you're hearing any like rattling and rain, we're currently in the middle of Storm Kiara? Kiara? Who knows? Yeah, currently in the middle of a storm, so who knows? But, the building's going to hold up, I know it. But that's if you hear any noises.
It's good you know it.
Yeah, I know it. I'm not sure about you. But yes, so I damaged myself. I was working in my old gym and just going through like a regular session. It was in summer, so it was nice good weather. And I decided to, in my warm-up, do some face pulls with a resistance band. Something I'd done loads of times before, but I just made one fundamental flaw, and that was instead of tying the resistance band to anything, I decided to just flip it over the bench. So it wasn't attached to anything, and it wasn't solid, attached to a rack or whatever, or tied in a knot or anything. From there, did some face pulls, so I was pulling my arms back towards me, obviously stretching out the band, and from that, it rolled up the bench, basically, and literally catapulted itself into my eyeball. Like, it's definitely the worst injury I've ever had, and it is the stupidest thing I've ever done, I'd say, because it's just such a lack of knowledge. Like, hundreds of hours with clients, hundreds of hours, thousands of hours training, and that one session, I decided to just do something completely out of the blue, which I'd never do, and basically blind myself. But that would be all right, if the preface to that wasn't that I had laser eye surgery about 3 months before. So I had LASIK laser eye surgery, which quite frankly was miraculous. Shout out to Optegra in Guildford. Just insane. I mean, you have glasses, you know what that does for your eyesight.
You're picking on me now, yeah?
No, I'm not picking on you. 4 eyes. I'm not picking on you, but I used to wear glasses, I used to wear contacts. When I got LASIK, which is insane, basically what they do, long story short, everyone always cringes when I say this, is they cut a flap in your eye.
My God.
Yeah, I know, it's just horrible already. They cut a flap in your eye and peel the flap back, basically, in the surgery. I know it's rank. They peel the flap back and then they do a laser in your eye, which basically changes the shape of it so that light refracts properly.
Are you awake when this happens?
You're awake. They give you anesthetic drops in your eye, so they numb your eyes, essentially. And yeah, they laser your eye, which makes light refract properly in the eyeball, and then they put the flap back over, and it heals about 90% of regular skin. All right, so how your eye would never regularly heal, and so I'd had that, and obviously I was pretty freshly out of that, probably 4 months, I think. So I was being really careful with my eyes. You're not allowed to get dirt or sweat or anything in them for 2 weeks after. You got to wear a headband.
Oh, really?
Yeah, looking like that, and wearing glasses and protective goggles. I had my pirate's eye patch on and all that.
I was to say, I think you'd look ridiculous in a headband.
Yeah, nobody wants to wear those. but it did keep the sweat out of my eye, and it did the trick. Yeah, so had that to do, and then just smashed myself in the eye with that resistance band. Like, literally couldn't have been a worse item as well, like a stretched out resistance band. It's not like I just knocked myself or whatever. Straight in the eyeball, and I immediately knew what I'd done. And I ran straight to the mirror and opened my eye, and it was just black.
No.
And I was like, I'm blind.
The eyeball was black?
No, is it not the eyeball itself, as in like my vision?
Oh my God.
In that left eye, which is what I did it to. And I was literally there like, I'm blind, which is just a horrifying like revelation to come to. Especially in one eye, like, oh, just awful.
You'd rather be blind in both?
Probably.
It worked out for Stevie Wonder.
Literally. And I just immediately had like thoughts of like, what are my parents going to think? You know, like the money that I spent on the LASIK, because like LASIK is not cheap, quite frankly, just putting it out there. It is amazing and it is well worth it, but it's not cheap. And I just immediately had that running through my head. You know, what am I going to do? I'm going to be blind. And I just immediately like burst into tears. So I was crying out the eye that was already like broken. Just because of the fear and the panic and like the impact that it has had.
Do we have you crying on film?
Oh, no, nobody wants to see that. That's uglier than anything you'll ever see. That's uglier than how my eyeball looked after it. The pain was unbelievable. Like, you know when you have a stinging eye and it doesn't really go away? Imagine that times 10 with salt and lemon in it for the whole night. And I was just in agony.
Can't see out of the eye?
Still can't see out of the eye. I was weeping. Basically, the flap of skin, the trauma was so much to it that it had taken the flap of skin and bunched it up into the corner of my eyeball.
Honestly, how many times are you going to say the word flap?
Flap. Flappy. And it was like bunched up cling film.
Oh.
So I could literally feel the flap hanging on for dear life. So I was trying not to do anything to that. Yeah, flap. So went back the next morning to the surgeon, and he literally looked at me and was like, what have you done? And he said to me that it was the worst post-operative damage he'd seen in 25 years of being an eye surgeon. Out of all the laser eye surgeries he'd done, he said the only other one that was worse was a guy who got in a fight and got his eyes gouged. And he had a similar thing to me, the flap like detached or something. I went into emergency surgery. Again, they're amazing at Optegra. Fit me straight in, emergency surgery. And that corrective surgery was worse than the original. Like, the original was really smooth sailing. It's horrible to explain to someone, and like pretty scary to go through. You know, and it's so delicate, this surgery. Think about how small your eye is and how much the surface area they have to work with. Got me up. I was okay, but it was still just incredibly sore. And because I'd had such an impact from the resistance band, it was like I'd been punched in the face, and my eye was swollen like I'd got in a fight or something.
Got knocked out.
Yeah. And so I could barely see anyway, and it was just so uncomfortable, like the stinging, and was on painkillers in the eye and just general painkillers like tablets. And then I had to wear like an eye patch or whatever to again, because it was even more sensitive than when I originally had the surgery. And basically went back like the next couple of days, and the surgeon was like, yeah, it seems to be doing well. Again, like the next week, seems to be doing well. And from there, it just steadily improved, and I've got back to roughly 20/20 vision in that eye. It's slightly worse than my right in terms of vision, but the surgeon pretty much said that's a miraculous recovery. He was like, I was being nice on the day I saw you after. He was like, I thought you were going to lose your sight in that eye.
Oh my God. That's hideous.
Yeah.
Do you have the video of it?
I do have the video. Yeah,
Right.
It's like CCTV footage, so we'll get that played for you.
Let's stick it here. Right, so the next section, we wanted to do a Q&A again. We received a ton of questions, but one of them was a challenge. They told us they wanted us to do a Q&A where we only answered with yes or no.
Okay.
Which I think is going to be pretty hard. And I don't know if it's a hint that maybe
we do like to ramble.
Yeah, that we waffle too much. So it's yes or no. I've actually got mine on my phone because I got it from Instagram. Remember, it's yes or no. Maybe like a word or two afterwards, but yes or no.
Okay.
Do you keep track of competitors?
Yes. You have to.
Yeah, it'd be stupid not to.
Yeah. Okay. I'll ask you yours. Has it all been worth it?
Yes,
With the question mark.
Jury's out. Because we're still going. But yes, sure. Yeah, I'm a lot happier now than I used to be.
Yeah, there you go.
Is it easy switching off?
No. It sounds cliche. It's a 24/7 thing, if you care about it. It's a 24/7 thing. Do you have a favourite member of the gym?
Yes. But I will never say who. Are you going on Spotify? I think she meant this, like the We Built a Gym.
Yeah. Yeah, we can look towards it, can't we?
Yeah.
Yes. Let's say yes.
Also, our playlists from the gym are already on Spotify. Search Athlete Movement. Look at our playlists. Maybe subscribe. Gym Rock's got 72.
Give it a follow.
I guess you could say things are getting a bit serious.
If people want this on Spotify, we'll get it on Spotify.
Are you having guests on?
Yes.
Have we answered that before?
Possibly. We are having guests on, and we're very excited for it. Got one for you. Do you have equipment you regret buying? Is it the reverse hyper?
Yes. To equipment I regret buying, maybe to the reverse hyper.
The drinks table.
Well, yeah, because it just becomes a drinks table. It's such an amazing bit of kit, but people just put their bags and drinks on it. Do you feel like you charge too much?
No.
Fair enough.
Back yourself and all that, you know. No, I don't. Is the industry really unreliable?
Yes. Have you got any good gossip?
Yes.
But we can't tell you. It's yes or no.
We're not going to. Did you order Domino's to the gym on Wednesday night again?
Yes.
Another one for you because it kind of links in for you as well. Do you miss teaching?
Yes. Parts of it. God, I'm a liar. No, as a whole, or else are we doing it? But yes to parts of it.
Yeah.
All right, let me scroll to the bottom again because then I've got one that's like that. Do you miss competing? I'm guessing that's like powerlifting comps.
Yeah, I'm guessing it's referring to powerlifting. No, because I've got one coming up in April and May and June. So, no. Got one for you. Tell us how much you earn. It's not even a yes or no question.
Tell us how much you earn. Yes. Will I tell you how much I earn? No. What I will say, I earn more money teaching.
Lol.
Can you tell us how many members you have? I'm guessing like clients for you.
Yeah, I can do if you ask me. I'm not telling you on here, but if you ask me, yes. What about you? Can you tell us how many members you have?
No. Me and Tim don't tell anyone that.
Yeah.
Because all people would do if we told them exactly how many members we'd have, they would times it by the amount we charge a month and go, oh my God, the gym earns this much money.
You're millionaires.
You should be getting X with that money, and they don't realise that the money that the gym earns pays for the building it's in.
Yeah.
So
pays for repairing the concrete that you smashed from the stairs.
We've never repaired that.
Yeah.
So no, I won't.
No.
I'm out of questions. You out of questions?
I'm out of questions. Yeah, that's it.
Cool. Wraps us up for episode 3. Acts of Stupidity. Thanks for tuning in. Remember, like, subscribe. It genuinely matters. If you hit the thumb button for the like, it improves our YouTube algorithm, which means more people will see us. So, like, subscribe. If you want us to answer any of your questions, put them in here. We also do an Instagram kind of shout out every week for people to add questions.
Yeah.
Thanks for tuning in. Hope you're enjoying it. See you next time for episode 4.
Bye, guys.
Bye.